Welcome. Today I'm going to do a giveaway for Skillful Pixel Dungeon because, well, I'll tell you at the end of the video. In the meantime, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'm not sure if you should worry about subscribing because if you're here for this one thing, then all my other videos are going to be about different things, so you're probably not going to want to subscribe. But even if you do, your choice. I'm not going to pressure you or anything about that, but I am going to pressure you about banana moon pies. I always pressure people about that because I can't find them in stores around here. But you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about the game that you are here to get a giveaway for. Well, let me get on to that then. I'm going to save the giveaway part for last because I want you to have to watch the whole video just to get to it. But not entirely. If you are a veteran of the Pixel Dungeon market, then you can skip to the timestamp right up here, and I'll be done talking about Pixel Dungeon and start talking about Skillful Pixel Dungeon. So here's where you get to do the skipping part. For those of you who have never done anything in the Pixel Dungeon market yet, you are here for the whole schlemiel. So let me shrink my picture down so you can see what I'm showing you. And show you the original Pixel Dungeon. The original Pixel Dungeon was released in 2015, became very popular right away, and also became very frustrating for most of its players because the game is so unforgiving. It's a roguelike dungeon crawl, which means that the game randomly generates 26 level dungeon, and it has permadeath, meaning if the character that you're playing dies, you lose all your loot and all your progress in the dungeon, and you have to start a new game. And when you start a new game, it'll be a different dungeon. So it becomes frustrating to learn all this stuff about the dungeon you're in, get all that loot, only to throw it to the wind because you couldn't beat that one boss monster. But unfortunately, there's lots of mods out there in the market, and none of them, well, maybe one or two, do anything about the unforgiving nature of the game. So don't expect it to go away anytime soon. But let me show you real quick. You can earn badges here about what you've done, rankings of when you've done what you've done. The About screen shows where the inspiration for the game came from. There's a donate button right here. And in the settings you can switch to landscape. You can turn the music on and off. Immersive mode makes these buttons at the bottom of your phone go away. And of course in landscape it makes it much more PlayStation-like. As I said, you can turn the music and sound effects off. And let's just go into the game. You can play as the warrior, the mage, the rogue, and the huntress you can play after you have slain 3 boss monsters with one of the other classes. So since I haven't played this game very much, you can see I have not gotten to that point yet. So let's start a new game with the warrior. It starts with this wonderful banner and this gong sound that I can't hear because I've got the volume so low, but the audio recorder can pick it up. You have little monsters, you fight them. Also, when you run through tall grasses, sometimes you can pick up dewdrops which give you a heal, a real small heal. You can find bits of food in there. Oh yes, there is one other feature I wanted to show you. There's a quick slot for weapons that you're not really equipped with. You start the game with basically nothing but a t-shirt and a short sword, a handful of darts and a food provision and a key ring. No gold, naturally. And the darts are put into a quick slot so that you don't have to equip them as a weapon in order to use them. You saw me just throw one and then go recover it. When you throw them at monsters, when they hit the monster, you will lose that dart. But if you miss the monster, then you'll be able to recover the dart. In the settings, there is a feature. Again, you can turn the music and sound effects on and off. Brightness makes the dungeon unnaturally bright, but there is a second quick slot that you can turn on, so that in case you find a wand, you can have it in a ready space, so you don't have to unequip your sword and equip that instead. You can just automatically use it without unequipping your sword. Other important things to notice, Your character has a strength rating. That's the only characteristic that you should really pay attention to, except for his health, of course, and experience to level up. But the only thing in his constitution that matters to the game is his strength. All of the weapons and armor have a strength requirement. Your character has to be a certain strength to be able to wield that thing. If their strength is lower than the requirement, then it'll be slowing them down or it'll be less effective. There are two ways that you can deal with that problem. There's potions of strength that will raise your character's strength level, and there are scrolls of upgrade that will lower the strength requirements of the items in your backpack. You also get items that are unidentified, and when you get them, they'll have a purple background instead of this gray background. For scrolls and potions, the best thing to do when you get them is to literally just try them to see what they are. The safest advice is to do this over water. That way, in case you get a scroll or a potion that sets you on fire, it won't burn you to death. Other things of note here are the search buttons at the bottom. There's a question mark and a magnifying glass. The question mark identifies the contents of a particular square. The magnifying glass searches the 9 squares around you to see if you can find any secret hidden doors. And that is basically all there is to say about the basic simplicity of the game. It's a 26 level dungeon. There's boss monsters, I think, every 6 levels. And the object of the game is to get to the bottom of the dungeon and recover the Amulet of Yendor. And that is all there is to say about that game. And now it is time for the veteran Pixel Dungeon players to rejoin us and say, hey, what have you all been talking about? Have you been talking about us? Naturally, yes, we have. We've been making all kinds of snide remarks about you. When you start Skillful Pixel Dungeon, you get this wonderful banner that welcomes you to the game and talks about latest changes. One thing of note is the fact that he has included a Discord button in his latest update, right up there, to follow the developer on Twitter and Discord and his Google Play page. Now is also a really good time to say, look at how much my shirt matches the menu colors. Sorry, the video software here reverses my image so that it can show the phone straight. So the text on my t-shirt is backwards. If you want to be able to read it, take it to a mirror and show it to the mirror. You'll be able to read it then, but otherwise it's probably too small for you to really see. But enough about that. Same thing as Classic Pixel Dungeon. You have your badges here. You see, I've been playing this game a little bit more, so I've got a few more badges. And of course, rankings, as always. The About menu has the stuff from the original Pixel Dungeon, as well as the developer of this game's stuff. He's got his source code is also open source, just like the original Pixel Dungeon. But enough about that messy detail. In the settings, the same features apply here. There's immersive mode. Music and sound effects can be turned on and off. You can switch to landscape. But let's go into the game. You can play as the warrior, the mage, the rogue, or the huntress. I'm not sure if the huntress is restricted until you kill 3 boss monsters or not. It's been so long since I've downloaded this game, I don't remember if it was restricted back when I first got it. I have beaten 3 boss monsters, so it may be in your copy. Let me switch over to the second screen where there are 2 characters that you can play in the scenario version of the game. There's Hatsune. I think she's an anime type character. Her hair turned blue because of her massive spiritual strength. And then one of her daughters is Daitenshi. Here are her stats there. When you go to play the scenarios, there's First Wave Betrayal. Soul Fury is the one he just added in the latest update. And for Daitenshi, there is one scenario you can play, this Escape. Now this is not within the original game. This is something he's added completely separate from that. But these are interesting features added to the game. Let me go ahead and play the game, start a new game with the Huntress. And look at this. It is difficulty selection. Much like the original shareware version of Doom, version 0.9. Yes, I remember that game. In fact, let me go up here and I will show you, scoot over a little bit so I have room for it, the difficulty selection for Doom that I captured from my own personal copy of Doom, which is very much like this. So you can play easy, normal, hell, or nightmare. Yes, you can have nightmares about Pixel Dungeon. I'm kidding. No, really, you won't. The difficulty settings are basically with easy, you get extra rations, extra potions of healing, extra gold, 2 soul crystals. I need to mention that too. I've got an email here that I need to read from the developer. He said, I think what makes Skillful stand out is a skill system that makes each class very unique. Also, you can hire mercenaries and play a campaign. I just told you about the campaign thing. The campaign isn't finished and very slow in updates, so you can make a joke about that. There's your opportunity to make a joke. There are more weapons and stuff, but that's normal with every mod. The Necroblade is quite loved and hated for being overpowered. I find it hard to imagine that people could hate a weapon for being overpowered. How many of you dislike engaging in overkill when you have the opportunity? I don't see many hands going up out there. Okay, if you are going to talk about weapons and items, the Necroblade and perhaps soul crystals let you capture enemies are quite unique. The bow as well. Yes, you can get bows and arrows here. He says also, let me close this little window so you can pay attention to this. At one point there was an online PvP part that never exited beta and was eventually brought down. That happened in late 2017, early 2018, so I doubt any active player right now knows it even existed unless they've been there for a while. But now they know. Yes, I spilled the beans on you. Okay, so let me go ahead and start a new game here. I'm going to select normal, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what the traits for the hell level and nightmare. It's even harder. But there are features that you can use to mitigate these. I'm going to go ahead and try it. Let's see what happens. Let's try nightmare and see what happens. Yes. I remember with Doom it was Hell and Nightmare actually just had more monsters in addition to having stronger and harder monsters. But one very nice feature of this game is that there's a storage chest in the stairwell room of every level of the dungeon. And if you put something in this chest, it's kind of like the ender chests in Minecraft, where if you put something in this one chest, every occurrence of that chest anywhere else will also contain that item. So if you get mystery meat, for example, later in the dungeon, and you don't have any opportunity to cook it, then you can put it in this chest and not have to carry it around, and then later when you get something to cook it, you can take it out of the chest on the level where you get that from. So that's a very nice feature. The skill set points. For each character, I don't have the specific notes on that right here, but for each character there's 3 subsets of skills that you can enhance with skill points. And as you make the game harder to play, you can give yourself more, it gives you more points to start with, and you get more points every time you level up. But that helps benefit your character. Other new features in the game are you can hire a mercenary, you can hire a brute, yes, I can leave that up there, you can hire a wizard, you can hire a thief, and it's locked in the original download version of the game, but you can hire an archer maiden. She is an elite archer. She comes with a bow, which he was talking about being a unique weapon, and also a soul crystal with the essence of a rat. I haven't shown you the soul crystals yet. This is a soul crystal. This is holding the essence of a captured rat. You throw it to summon the spirit into your service, and it will summon a rat. And he will basically just follow you around, I think. I don't know, I haven't tried using that yet. Another interesting feature of this game is that the pixel mart is on level 1, always connected to the stairwell room. Even though these are randomly generated, he made sure in his code to specify that this room needs to be connected to the stairs. So if you need to sell things or buy things, you can come up to level 1 and you know it will be right there. The search menu has been moved up to here. Tap it once to look at a single cell, and tap it twice to search the 9 squares around you for secret hidden doors. There is also the Rat King. When I first saw this, I thought in terms of, oh, like Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite. The Rat King, you know, the guy who opposed the Nutcracker. He said, no, this was just a joke. I just did this because there were rats on the first level of the dungeon, and I wanted there to be a king of them. And of course, you see in the dialogue that he provided for it, it is actually a very good joke. You can pause to read it if you want. This is one of the things that the giveaway is about. The downloaded version of the game has all of these buttons disabled. You can disable all but one of the chief types. And also you can increase but not really decrease the percentage of the champions you meet. You can also increase or decrease, well, you can't really decrease any lower than the level you've selected, but you can increase their hit point ratio, their attention level, their defense. You can make it so you're playing always at night, always during the day, or at day or night. You can buy food scraps from the Rat King. It gets more expensive as you move further down the dungeon, but if you don't have food provisions, this is always a nice save. What else? Don't forget, again, to go in and turn on your second quick slot, so in case you get a wand, you can use it without having to... There's also... darn phone thing. There's also no degradation. One of the characteristics of the roguelike dungeon crawl is that the weapons degrade as you use them. But in this game, you can actually disable degradation so that weapons don't age as you use them, which doesn't necessitate the need of replacing them. Also, if you get that really one badass weapon, you don't have to worry about losing it or having to wear out on you. It will always stay in good shape. And my darn camera thing does that. Okay, so apparently your monster essence follows you. Let me see if he'll fight for you. Or does he just follow you like a pet? Nope, he's actually the monster is actually attacking him instead of you, which is all nice and handy. Now see, he was a champion, and conveniently, he very nicely... And yes, unfortunately you have to go around your minion, so that can be more of a nuisance than a help. But if you're dealing with a swarm of monsters, that can actually be handy because they will attack him instead of you. Now on to not showing off my favorite snack in the world again. The question of the giveaway. Let me go back and present to you a screen where I've got my Twitter handle and my email address up here. The giveaway is the developer gave me 51 coupon codes for a donation amount for the game, and I forgot to show you the when you support the game, whether it be you personally paying for a donation or when you use one of these coupon codes, it automatically unlocks the Archer Maiden and unlocks control of the champion restrictions. So that is one of the things that is going to be given to you with this coupon code. But let me go back now to Twitter handle and email address. And while we're looking at that, and I'm talking to you about the fact that he's given me 50 extra of these codes. I used one for myself, but he gave me 50 extra to distribute to players. There's my Twitter handle up there and my email address. It's on my YouTube account. Message me in either one of those two places and I will send you the code. And while I'm looking at this part of the screen, look out for Rush's last album, Clockwork Angels. It's one of the best albums that they've done in the past 10 years, I think. Actually, it's their final album, and surprisingly enough, it puts them in the class of bands like The Who and Pink Floyd as being their first and actually only really full album concept album. Yes, the entire album is the concept album. Unlike 2112 and Hemispheres, where only half the album was the concept, this album, the entire album is a concept, but it's separate songs, so don't get freaked out about some of these 20-minute songs or anything. No, these are only 5 and 8 minute songs. They're not going to push your attention level all that much, but they really put in some good riffs and good rockin' songs. Let me show you also how to redeem these coupon codes. Go into the Play Store and hit the 3-bar button at the top, and then scroll down to the bottom of it. There will be redeem right here, and it will take you to a screen where you can either scan a gift card or enter the code that I give you here, and then hit redeem right here. And then after you've done that, go back into the game and hit the donate button, and it will automatically activate your coupon code or your donation towards this game to unlock the features that it's giving you. So that is what the giveaway is. I'm giving you the coupon code to unlock these features. There are no microtransactions in this game, so don't get all freaked out about that. That is not an issue here. I don't think any of the knockoffs that I'm going to be doing, not knockoffs, mods, are going to have any microtransactions, so there aren't any in Pixel Dungeon games. I'm basically filling up time so that I can give time to put the follow-up link to the video that I'm going to do after this, where I'm going to show off all 18 of the follow-up mods to the original Pixel Dungeon, including this game, but I want to make sure and have it at the tail of the video, so this no longer has my Twitter handle and email address, but rather a big huge square with the video for the 18 follow-ups. Yes, I have notes for it here. I made an outline. It's like 5 pages long, so that's going to be an interesting video. But anyway, I think I am done here, and I look forward to seeing you at the Play Store, and I wonder if you would ever maybe do the PvP thing. I personally don't like PvP modes of games, but I think it would be an interesting thing to do. But anyway, so have fun gaming. Like I said, email me or tweet me about the coupon codes. I don't know if you can direct message privately in Twitter or not, but I have to be careful about posting these codes out there openly because I don't want to duplicate. I've got them on a spreadsheet and I'll mark them off as used when I allocate them, and I'll probably add some extra footage at this video to say, okay, I'm all done now, I've run out of codes, everyone can stop asking. But I'll probably end up, when I run out of codes, just totally re-upload a different version of this video without the coupon code giveaway. So that is that. And are we done? Yes, I think I've said everything. Mention brush. Didn't mention my book, though. Again, hold it up to a bathroom mirror so you can actually read what it says. Yes, this is a real book. 359 pages. It's available at lulu.com. My YouTube channel has... Oh, don't forget, there's Wikipedia pages for this game. I put the link in the description below also for that. And I think, is that all I need to say? Yes. Don't forget to go out and look at my book. It's the best thing to get caught reading in public.